Coming up next on Not the 9 to 5 podcast.
What do you do? What's in that toolkit for organisation?
Guys, are you ready for it? Because I love it.
Stop with the negative self-talk.
Yeah.
Not interested.
Get over it.
Exactly.
Move on. Rainbow comes up and it goes, you've completed your task.
Yeah, it's like, let me show you. Where's my phone? Oh, it's there.
Because I like to be like creative and stand out on my invoice so they remember me.
I actually schedule my time in to go to the gym.
Do you actually?
I do.
You put it in the cow?
I put it in the cow.
So I forced myself to take an hour.
Welcome to Not the 9 to 5.
The podcast for freelancers
By freelancers.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out,
Join us as we share insights, tips and stories.
to help you thrive in the world of independent work.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Francesca.
We are two freelancers exploring the highs, lows
And everything in between. So grab your coffee, kick back,
and let's dive into another episode of Not the 9 to 5.
Katheryn Siggers.
Francesca Marago. Back for another episode, guys. Before we get into it, we just want to let you guys know we have a freelancing community group called Freelance and Advance, and it's for all types of freelancers, whether you're a social media manager, graphic designer, actor,
Journalist.
voice actor, journalist, any type of freelancing. Come and check the group out. We kind of post lots on there. You can connect with other freelancers, and it's just a little community to connect with.
Brilliant. Well, so today we're going to dive straight in, as we always do on this podcast, and we're going to give you a few survival tips, we call them, over a lovely cup of Starbucks caramel macchiatos
from Asda. So what do you do for mindset, Francesca?
I always love routine. I think routine is key with mindset. Having an organised schedule and a plan for your day each day will keep you on track for a better mindset, a more positive mindset. Obviously, as freelancers, our days can be so interchanging. One day you're like working really early mornings, the next day you're not working at all, then you're working 15-hour days. Like, it's just kind of non-stop. But setting in like breaks and time for you in between the madness is what I would say is one of my survival kits in mindset.
Do you do that via like your Apple Cow or?
Yeah, I love an Apple Cow, as you know.
Do.
I love
Google
a little
Cow girl.
Yeah, see, Google Cow, I don't know. I feel a bit disconnected from it sometimes. But Apple, it's just there, isn't it? It's just there on the phone. It's integrated. You don't like it?
No, I don't
This is
like
where we
it.
differ. This is where we differ.
But that's what you do. You
Yeah.
schedule your breaks.
Yeah.
And how do you kind of combat that when you have like a 15-hour day, for example?
Yeah, that's a good question. That is a good question. I don't always do well with this, I have to be honest. But everyone has to have a lunch break.
They do.
Everyone has to have a lunch break. I think even if you don't feel hungry because you're stressed, and that happens to me often. It happened to me this week. I was so inundated with stuff that I needed to do that I just couldn't stomach to eat anything. Like, I just couldn't do it. So I forced myself to take an hour.
Shut up.
I know, it was a struggle. I had to put the phone down and everything.
You actually put your phone down?
Yeah, I put the phone down. And I put Spotify on, and I've been listening to Mika recently, the singer, and I'm obsessed with his song. So I've just been putting that on whilst I've been cooking to try and like get me out the zone of like work.
Love that.
But then you've got people texting you, and you're like, anxiety.
Do you keep your ringer on?
No, my phone is useless actually. If you think about it, I don't have a ringer or a vibration on it.
No, I don't either.
But I'll see like it will like flash, and I'm
I'll see what you got to do. Turn the phone
turn
over.
it upside down. I know.
I always do that when I'm like, I don't want to deal with my phone anymore. I just
people.
turn it over, pretend it's not there.
What do you do then for mindset?
And for mindset, I think for me it's all about goal setting. If I have a goal in mind, I have to make those micro goals in order to achieve it, and that keeps my mindset in a good space, as opposed to if I'm just sort of like, because I have like when I was first starting out freelancing, I was like, I want to do all these things, but I never wrote my goals down. I never set a plan of how to achieve them. I was just like, I want to do those things, and then I'd end up working towards something that I didn't even really know what it was. So for me, writing goals down is a massive thing for my mindset, day to day.
Does it help motivate you then?
100%.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, I've got that next micro goal to get towards that bigger goal. And then once I've done that, I put the next micro goal and the next one and the next one. And that kind of like, it's so much more like, what's the word? Like manageable.
Yeah, I was going to say satisfying as well when you like get there. It is
satisfying. It's proper satisfying.
Do you ever celebrate like the wins though? Like when you've when you've ticked off a micro goal, do you just take a minute to go, I've actually done a bit of my checklist?
I should do that more. I can't say I'm very good at doing that, but yeah, that is something I would like to do more. Yeah. But it's satisfying, like you say, when you go tick.
Isn't it?
I love that. I love that so much.
I love it.
So yeah, that's kind of what I do in terms of like managing that goal mindset. I also think that my why is important. Why do I do what I do? Right. I've spoken about that before on the podcast, but it's so important to know why you want to achieve the goals you want to achieve. Like, what's the meaning of it? Because if you don't know the why, what's the point? Yeah. Like, what's your intention here? Yeah. I think that's huge for me, because otherwise it's like, okay, am I just chasing money? And that's fine if you are, because like financial goals are important for me personally to have. But I think having that intention in terms of why I'm creating the work I'm creating, what I'm creating it for, who it's potentially going to help or benefit, is so important for me, because it makes me, I suppose it gives me a purpose, and that's great for my mindset, because when I don't feel like I have a purpose, I go into a very dark place. And you've seen me go into a dark place before, haven't you? Yeah. Where I'm like, I don't feel like I've got any purpose in my life right now. Like, I don't feel like I'm helping anyone or achieving anything, or I think about that quite a lot. So yeah, for me, that's important to keep my mental health healthy. Yeah.
I think it's easy to just be like going into something without any sort of clear goal or clear purpose. Like, people go in blind because like they'll get a job for something and they've not done it before. Like, you might get your first freelancer gig in something that might not be completely related to what you want to do, and you go, I'll do it. Then you end up getting stuck in a rut, because then you get more opportunities of that kind, but is it really what you want? Me personally, I've had a bit of a 360 moment where I've gone, do I want to work on features and TV shows, or do I want to work in commercial world? And I had the purpose of going into commercial world, and it's happening now for me, which is great, and it's what I want to do. So it's like, I kind of I don't want to say like detoured, but I definitely did things that I maybe didn't enjoy as much to then find what I really wanted to do. Yeah,
and sometimes you have to do that, because you can...
You've got to take the opportunities as well.
Exactly. You do have to take the opportunities, but also it gives you such a big indicator when you're doing something and you're actually not enjoying it that much, and you go, well, this clearly isn't my path if I don't spring out of bed in the morning ready to go, ready to do it. I think it's so important, isn't it?
Do you ever have imposter syndrome with the mindset motivation?
I have imposter syndrome every day. I suppose so. Like, I definitely feel like I'm not... I have moments where I feel I'm not good enough, but I'm aware enough now, because I've worked on it enough, to go, actually, no, I am good enough. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be getting all these jobs if I wasn't. Yeah. So, shut up, brain. Yeah. Like,
it's so true.
It is true. Yeah. It's like, I wouldn't be in the space I am in my career today if I wasn't good. So... stop with the negative self-talk. Yeah. Not interested.
Get over it.
Exactly.
Move on.
Exactly. Let's talk about organisation now, Francesca, because you're someone who I aspire to be as organised as. Thank you. So give us your toolkit. What do you do? What's in that toolkit for organisation?
Guys, are you ready for it? Because I love it. Basically, for me, if I've got clear, concise folders on a platform of some kind, whether that be Google Drive, Asana... So I'm going to get into that. But Google Drive for me is quite good, because then you can see exactly what you're doing, and it's all laid out there, and it's all all the files are attached and categorized, and you can just keep up with the project management of whatever you're doing. I mean, in my work, because it's film and TV, we have a lot of documents, we have a lot of briefs that come through, we have risk assessments we need to file, we have all this kind of paperwork. And if it's just chaos, that you just don't know what you're doing, There's a new system recently that I've been using called Asana, which I just mentioned. And that one is basically like a project timeline app that you can download on your laptop. And you can set tasks and you can set subtasks. So if it's like, I don't know, you're doing a podcast episode, you go, Not the 9 to 5 podcast as your title of the job. And in there, you have like an overview tab where you can put the overview of whatever that maybe episode is that you want to do. And then you can add any like important links to the overview. So like the Google Drive doc or like the audio track and stuff like that. So at least, you know, as an overview, you've got like your core docs there. And then you can go into the project timeline. And this is where it gets fun. So exciting. So that in that one, you've got like, you can section it out because you can go, okay, I don't know, title of episode as like one subtopic. And it will create like a bullet point for you. And in that subtopic, you can attach files to it or ideas or write comments in. Okay. And once you've like come up with that or done that job, you can click the OK button and a rainbow comes up and it goes, you've completed your task.
Is it the rainbow that you love more?
I love it. It's got a unicorn as well. Like it's a unicorn going over a rainbow.
Is this for a child?
No, it's actually for jobs. Like it's a great platform. It's so good. Like the satisfaction you get from ticking your checklist, I get from the online version.
And so can you assign jobs to certain people? Is it like a team thing?
You can, yeah. Oh. So I can assign a job to you for the podcast in, I don't know, like a logo or like editing, and then
I was going to say don't.
I was like maybe not logo, but like like the editing of that episode, and you can put like a deadline date so that on your software, on your page,
it will tell me.
It will say Cat's to dos is this, and this is when it's due, and then you can tick it off, and then a little rainbow will come up. I know. So
are you going to make me use it?
You should so use it. It's so good.
No, I mean, because you're the producer of this podcast, so you can make me use it.
Well, I feel like you won't use it, though. I
will use it.
Will you?
No.
But for me, it's good to keep track of things, and it like notifies you via email as well if you've missed something on the app. You'd hate that because it does go, your task is overdue. Pressure. Yeah, but that's good because it gets you to freaking finish it.
Yeah, but I will finish it when I'm ready.
This is the problem. Sometimes you don't have time.
It's the rendering of projects that takes me the longest.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It takes me like 2 hours to render out a YouTube video on my laptop, so I have to do it in the evening.
What do you have in your toolkit then for like project management and that kind of organised?
So I think for me, I understand it and I get shit done. I use Google Calendar. That is the main thing that I use. I also use Notion as well now.
Notion? What's Notion?
Yeah, it's like, let me show you. Where's my phone? It's there.
I've done that before.
Right, I will show you afterwards. But it's basically like it's like a calendar, but it just gives you, whereas Google Calendar, it's really small and like sometimes I can't see my tasks. This is it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't see my tasks, like of how long it's going to be. It like sort of, it only shows you 2 days at a time, so it doesn't become too overwhelming. That's it.
That looks like Apple Cal to me.
Yeah, no, I like it.
So is it linked to Apple Cal? No,
it's linked to my Google Calendar.
Oh, okay.
So everything I put everything in my Google Calendar, and then Notion tells me that I need to do it. If that makes sense.
Right. And what's the difference between a calendar and a...
I just like it. But, because I only have it on a 2-day window.
Yeah.
And also, you know how Google Calendar goes down, 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 like vertically?
Yeah. Like a calendar would, yeah.
No, yeah. It goes this way.
Horizontally.
And it just gives me less anxiety.
Because it's all more spread out.
It's all spread out. But basically, within my scheduling, cool. I put in... There it is. Thanks for showing the audience.
It's okay. Anytime.
Within that, I will schedule, okay, here's my time for acting. Like, what am I going to do? Like, maybe it's applying for jobs, looking for jobs, reaching out to
between like 12 and 2 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And it will say that's your time.
That's my time. And then I'll go, okay, teaching here, break.
Oh, you put breaks in?
I put breaks
That's really good.
Yeah, I do.
Like, how long are your breaks?
I try to take half an hour, but it doesn't always
How
work.
often?
Like just at lunchtime.
Oh, just lunch, half
Just
an hour
lunch,
lunch. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But do you not do like 15-minute breaks in the day to break?
No, I don't. I don't. No,
I know. Guys, you need to do it. You need to do it. You need to schedule it in.
Yeah. I do schedule in my half an hour, and I do try and take that and put my phone down. Like, not even like go on socials or anything like that, because that's obviously a massive part of our job is to be on socials. I started a TikTok page, everyone. I don't know if anyone's seen it.
Yeah, put the tagline in.
What?
Put the tagline.
Yeah, I will.
The handle.
I have got 600 likes.
You crack me up.
On one of my videos and 17,000 views. So
17,000.
17,000.
Oh my god.
600 likes. It's a duet video, voice acting duet.
That's great. Yeah, we should do it.
Well, I've already done it. You just got to duet it.
How?
I'll show you later.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, that one's doing really well. So
That's
that
cool.
is, so I've started a TikTok page just to try and get myself out there.
What's it called?
Katheryn Siggers one.
One.
Well, that Katheryn Siggers was taken for some reason.
So you've done Katheryn Siggers 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
But yeah, so where am I going with this? Yeah, back to scheduling.
You need to stay on schedule.
I do need to stay on schedule. So I schedule, because I've got, obviously with my multi-hyphenates, I schedule in my time. Like every day I'll do something a little bit different. Like one day I'll be focusing on acting, one day I'll be focusing on voice acting, one day I'll be focusing on presenting, one day I'll be focusing on writing. And that's really just to get me to sit down and do outreach or to update files or whatever. It's not necessarily that
to keep on track.
To keep on track, to keep moving forward in all of those different avenues, because I found it so overwhelming that I was like, I don't know how to move forward in any of them. Whereas it gives me the time to actually do that. And then, of course, if I've got a voice job that's come through, I'll either use it in the voice acting time that I've allocated, or I'll just move things around slightly to put it in. But yeah, so I'm really trying to be more scheduled this year.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Obviously, like you just said, like with invoicing and finances and stuff is really important to keep on track of that. I try and do it like the minute I finish that job, I'll issue the invoice that I like keep it on like on like a rotation, rather than some people do it at the end of a week, some people do it at the end of a month.
Every Friday.
Yeah, but for me, I feel like, I know it's crazy, but I feel like I'll forget certain things, because on my invoice it's not just like a day rate. I have to put like expenses and travel and stuff like that on, where I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot about that.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, to do it on the day
whilst it's fresh in my head, just do it and like PDF everything and send. That way, like I'm just constantly not getting overwhelmed by the end of the year for like the tax man to like look at my earnings. That's fair enough. And like rush to put everything in a drive.
Do you have an invoicing app, or do you just create PDFs?
I use Canva for my invoices, because I like to be like creative and stand out on my invoice so they remember me.
That's so funny.
So like I make it more like on brand for me. So when I redid my website, I've changed all the colour tones and I've made my invoice a reflection of that. Nice. So it's all like linked. So I use Canva basically, but I know loads of people use other systems. What
they
systems? Do you use systems?
I don't use a system. I used to use when I was using, oh my god, what's it called?
It's that app, QuickBooks.
QuickBooks, that's it. When I used to use QuickBooks, it would issue my invoices for me, but it got confusing because I use like Stripe and PayPal, right? And it wouldn't take into account the fees that PayPal would take. So it was just easier. I gave up with it in the end, and I've gone back to just doing it manually. Because it's easier for me to account for those. Because then it was telling me like I had all of this money, and I was like, no, I don't. Because like
you took they took a cut.
Because the PayPal and Stripe keep taking a cut, and I still use those platforms, but it's easier for me to just do it manually. Yeah. I know it sounds a bit long-winded, but I prefer to do it for accuracy as opposed to like letting QuickBooks do it.
But I mean, if you prefer an app, then obviously there is QuickBooks, there is Wave, there's PayPal, there's Wise.
Xero.
Yeah, Xero. Xero's like a big one actually now. People use, like lots of accountants use it as well to keep track of your expenses. So like then you don't have to send them things at the end of the year because they're like connected to your account. I mean, for me, I feel like that's just too invasive. Yeah. Of like
But do you know, in 2027, we are going to have to go digital.
Online. I heard.
Yeah.
I heard.
Every
I'm not ready
quarter
for it.
or something.
Ridiculous.
We have to submit stuff.
It's ridiculous.
I'm not about this life.
I don't like that.
No,
It's
I
like,
don't.
Why,
End of year.
Why do you need to look at all of my what I'm paying? You know, there's certain things that you have that you like pay on your cards that you don't want to put towards your expenses, or you don't want to claim that because it's separate or whatever.
Exactly.
But then like this system will like allocate it towards your taxes, and it's like, what? I don't like that. Yeah, Xero does that unless you like check it. It will just automatically think.
Actually, yes, because that's what happened to me with QuickBooks. Yes, this is all coming back to me now. And I had to keep, like, I had to go through. Like, it was longer than if I was to do it manually, because I had to go through each and every one and go, okay, what was that for? Okay, that was for whatever I'd bought that was actually not to do with the business. Then I'd have to categorise it, put it in a different category. It was just a mindfuck.
Yeah. In terms of like clients, communication, that kind of stuff, in terms of top tips for that, what would you advise?
I would advise putting your boundaries in place quickly and setting out, like, this is how I communicate. Like, the best place to find me is email. I prefer to work via email, as you know. When it's work related, I much prefer to do email, because when we WhatsApp, it's like, because we're mates, like, that's my personal life, I think.
You don't want to mix it.
I don't want to mix that.
Yeah.
So I always make sure that the client knows that I work Monday to Friday, this time to this time. Every day is slightly different because I teach during the evenings on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. So that I have slightly longer hours that day, or slightly different hours. So I make sure that they're aware of like the kind of times, and then I also make sure that I'm not emailing them out at the times I've stated as well, so that it's very clear.
That's so true.
Because if I email them on a weekend, they think I'm available, where sometimes I am working on a weekend, but I schedule it for Monday. Whatever piece of work I've done, I'll schedule it for Monday morning to be sent.
Makes sense. It makes sense,
because I just think, like, there's no point people overstepping you allowing people to overstep your boundaries, because all you're going to do is get frustrated. What do you do?
I feel like communication is like key with clients, just generally, like setting those, like basically being crystal clear of when you need to deliver stuff by, or what it is that they want, and like you put that in writing. Like you can have that in a conversation, like online. And I think what's the thing called Fathom is like a new like online AI tool that you can put in meetings that takes notes. So whatever you say in meetings gets recorded, and then that gets sent to your clients and yourself after. So I feel like that's a great way to at least keep track of what you have said. But also then you've got like an email communication as well that you've physically written. So then there's like no cross wires, and they know. I also think that some clients want more from you in terms of like they want you to do extra work for on days that you've not agreed, or for things that were like unforeseen, and it's like, great, I'll do the extra work, but that means I need to make time for it, which means you need to pay for it. Oh my god, and I think that's where contracts or an email chain comes in, where you've been very clear of like, this is the agreed work. This is the deadline. This is the payment. Anything outside of that will have to be negotiated. Exactly.
You know, and making that very clear from the beginning. And like, if you're like me, like voice artists, they usually give like a revision. So some do. I like to give one revision that's like, it's not the whole script, but if they just want me to redo a couple of lines, that's absolutely fine. But anything over that, or if you change the script,
do it.
You're going to have to pay for it again. Of course, you don't have to repay the usage fee or anything like that, but you do have to pay me my time, basically. Exactly. So I think that's where, that's just where contracts and stuff like that comes in really handy. And I also like to put like an invoice payment deadline thing, you know.
What do you have terms?
Yeah, I have terms, and I like to get 50% up front and then 50%
like an advance.
Yeah, like an advance payment. And on my little contract thing, I put that the work can't start until this is paid.
Yeah.
So it's in their best interest to pay me quickly. I usually give a date as well that it should be paid by.
Right.
And then
that's a good way of like communicating.
Yeah. In
like black and white.
Yeah, because otherwise, like, some people just don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think as freelancers and as creative freelancers, I think we're much more. People think that they can take advantage of us much more because it's a creative job.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that stigma comes from. I'm sure we could have a whole nother podcast about this particular topic.
Literally.
But I feel like people do feel like although you couldn't exist without art, that for some reason people don't feel like they should pay for it as much, and I don't understand that.
It's crazy.
I'm giving you a service, just like if I was to do your accounts. We should bring back Sally from accounting.
We should bring back Sally from it. I was going to actually talk about money next, to be fair. So that was a great
segue.
Lean in. Money. We talk about money often, but I think as freelancers, when you get your paycheck in, you're so tempted to like spend it straight away that you don't think logically about this or like practically about it in terms of saving.
Right.
I think when there are times of quiet, lean season, you've got to keep 20% aside from each paycheck that you get so that you can like survive the quiet times and you're okay with that, you know. Or at least save towards a future. Like, unfortunately, as freelancers, we don't get mortgages that easily. It's really freaking hard.
It's difficult
because we don't have a steady income. Every month is different. Sometimes you earn a lot for the year, sometimes you don't, and this is the problem with our society and with the banks. Like, they want to invest in someone who has a steady 9-to-5 job, and it's like, unfortunately, we haven't chosen that career for us, and that doesn't work for us. So can you like sort it out? So anyway, basically, in terms of like your accounts, it's good to have like a business account maybe where you could gain interest on the work that you get, on the money that you get paid, and then you have your personal account for whatever else you have, and stick into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
Well, I'm exactly the same. This is what I do every single month. I put 20% away for the tax man, and I put it in, that's in my business account, and it's like 3.9% interest. So I get money on that every month, and I just put that 20% away straight away. And then I put 10% into a pension. And then, because you got to save for the future.
That's true.
Got to save for the future. Like future
for Granny
now.
Cat.
For Granny?
For Granny Cat.
For Granny Cat. For Granny Cat. She needs her money. She needs her trips abroad.
She does.
She needs to be wrinkly and old in the sun.
You know it.
With an Aperol spritz. And then I put 10% into a stocks and shares ISA.
Lovely.
And then I put 5% into it's another 3.9% savers. So I've got little pots
various
of money
accounts,
everywhere. And then also Monzo, my business account, is doing a savings challenge.
Oh.
Right? And so every day, it's a 365-day challenge, right? And every day you put away, so on the first day it was like a penny, the next day it was 2 penny, and then by the end you put £3.65 away. And by the end of it, I'll have £600 in savings.
For the year?
For the year.
Oh, okay.
Just from like...
doing little bits like that,
like,
which doesn't feel a lot.
And it just does it automatically.
Oh.
So I don't even have to do anything. You just set it to do it. And then by the end it will save £600.
Oh, wicked.
Which like is something I wouldn't like
think to do.
So it's just like little ways like that you can really help yourself.
It's a good encouragement for people to save. Yeah, I love that.
Literally. And so that. It will be £600 that I can maybe put towards a new MacBook Pro.
Yeah, I was going to say like maybe a holiday, but obviously we've got different ideas at the moment of that.
Well, I've already got my money for my holiday.
Yeah, but you're right. When it comes to like investment, I think it's really good for those monies that you're putting aside, reinvesting in your product, reinvesting in your service so that you can get better quality jobs.
Exactly, because then also 80% of that will be tax deductible, and we like that very much. Because I need it. My laptop is on its last legs. Isn't it?
It is.
Let's not jinx it.
Yeah, let's not jinx it. We need time to edit this.
That's what you're worried about?
Yeah.
Oh my god, how funny.
Literally. Okay. Obviously, another thing that we like to have in our toolkit is being able to network and communicate with people, like meet new people to then gain more jobs, right? So, like for me personally, there's lots of like different groups that you can be a part of that help build your network. There's a group called Slack. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I have, yeah. I used to use it a long time ago when I was employed. Yeah.
Because it's quite a good way of like meeting people that have the same interests as you on like an app, basically. I think like they've got social media managers, they've got all kinds of people, and you can join those little communities within Slack, and then there's like a running chat, like a group chat, almost like a WhatsApp thing, forum kind of thing, and you post like things on there or links, whatever you want. Or you can like set up events and stuff with people on there, and then like come off the platform and like you meet them, right? But they're from all walks of life, and they're not just like UK based, they're like global.
Have you done that?
Yeah, I've done it.
Oh,
that's how we met. That's how I met that what's her name? Tasha Prados that we had on our podcast. The social media nomad. She's on Slack, and she was like posting on Slack, and then I posted about our podcast on Slack, and then we started talking about the podcast, and then I was like, oh, actually, and she's like, can I be on your podcast? And then it kind of all happened like that.
Oh my god, I love that.
So you just like never know. Again, networking, finding people.
I need to get on Slack then.
Yeah, it's a good app.
Because I literally just made a TikTok video about how networking isn't so scary anymore, because modern networking is a lot online.
Yeah.
You know, the first introductions are online. Yeah. It's so much easier. Yeah. And then if you want to meet up in real life, then you can.
Then you do. Yeah, that's cool.
I like that.
LinkedIn is also like another one that we use a lot.
Fucking love LinkedIn.
Kat's constantly posting daily on LinkedIn.
I am. I'm a daily poster.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good to get into it. And the thing is, you can schedule on LinkedIn. So like if you don't have the time in the week to physically post, then you can schedule like on a Sunday for the whole week.
Exactly. I do it on a Monday for the entire week. And it's just about making things streamlined. I don't want to be going on LinkedIn every day. I'll go and just check in and make sure that no one's commented that I need to reply to, or no one's messaged me. But I think just to make life easier, just schedule it. I love a little schedule.
Yeah, for sure. Also in networking, I think it's important to keep relationships going. So if you haven't worked with a client for a while, like don't forget them. I think it's important to just like drop them an email, go, hey, how's it going? I hope you're well, blah blah blah, I've done this recently, if you need any assistance, I'm available. So at least like you haven't forgotten them, and then you're like on the forefront of their mind. I feel like that's quite good to get into the habit of. That's what we do anyway.
Yes, 100%.
And then obviously online, like using your socials, like if you are someone who's in a job role that requires a lot of social media managing or just social media, getting on those apps I think is key. Some people use Instagram as their portfolio now.
They do.
So like if you're into that, do it.
Right, let's talk about self-care to wrap this toolkit up.
All right, yeah.
Okay, I think for me, the gym is huge. I actually schedule my time in to go to the gym.
Do you actually?
I do.
You put it in the Cow?
I put it in the Cow.
In Notion?
In Notion. Well, I put it in Google Cow and then it goes into Notion.
Double Cow.
Because it's... Double Cow. It's so important for me to exercise. Like, I go a bit stir crazy if I don't exercise. And I like feeling physically fit and physically strong. And it's also important for us in our acting careers to keep physically fit. You know, you have to be physically fit to do our job. So I feel like that's something I constantly do to keep up my self-care routine. And then my gym also has like a swimming pool, like a sauna and a steam room. Oh, nice. And I like to go in there.
Is this a new gym?
Yeah.
Oh, you joined a new gym?
Yeah, I joined a new gym back in December.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Nice.
It's like a bit fancy.
Oh.
But I thought, you know what, you've got the money now, so treat yourself. And that's part of my self-care, because I go in, I do my steam, which is good and then I come to the office after that and I do my voiceovers. Good. And it gets rid of all my sinus stuff.
Yeah.
And then the sauna is just beautiful and gets rid of any muscle tension.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to do. I also like going for a walk without any headphones on or anything, and just breathing in the fresh air, listening to the birds. It's beautiful. And then the last thing I do every morning without fail.
Here we go. Get ready. I know what you're going to say.
I like to sit in bed with not 1 cup of coffee, but 2. I will have 2, not at the same time, obviously. I will have 2 cups of coffee. I will read first thing instead of picking up my phone.
Wow.
I'll read, and then on my second coffee, I'll go on my phone.
Wow.
And it just gets me ready for the day.
That's great. Not many people read these days. Well, they read on their phones, but
yeah, no, I
read
like
in a physical
book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you. What do you do for self-care?
What do I do? That's a good question. I'd definitely go to the gym. Like, I've kept it up for the whole year.
Do you
like, more than
schedule
a
it
year
in
now.
or no?
Yeah, I do classes. So, like, I book them.
Yeah.
And if you don't go, you get charged. So, like, I make sure I book so that I'm going. But, like, I'm in a routine. I try and be in as much in a routine as possible because it's, like, really hard with the industry. But I'll go do my classes and I feel, like, revived. I feel better. And I also prefer to do gym in the evenings, personally, rather than, like, in the day.
I'm a during the day kind of gal.
Yeah, I feel like the day is so stressful or, like, it can get so heightened and so busy that if I gym in the middle of the day or in the morning, like, I'm not releasing, like, all that built up tension as much as I would at the end of the day. So, like, then I can just tire myself out completely at the end of the day and just get rid of all that tension, and I'm good.
Interesting.
Yeah, and also I feel like it's quieter at the gym in the evenings. Like, you don't have, like, so many people about. So then I can, like, use the steam room, use the sauna, go for a swim, use the jacuzzi, and, like, just chill out. Did that the other day, and I was like, yes.
Oh my god, that's such a vibe.
Yeah.
I love it.
And my gym's open till 11, so, like, I'll go late
perfect.
and make sure that I've got, like, exclusivity. Because, like,
she's a VIP. Everyone.
you know it, always. Like, the people at the gym, they know.
They know. They roll out the red carpet every time she comes in.
Every time. Yeah, I don't have to use my gym card, they just know. So do that. And then, like, also I'll listen to music. So, like, if I'm working and it's stressful, I'll put music on in the background and it will, like, calm me down.
Oh, that's cool.
Any kind of music. Whatever I'm vibing to at the moment, I'll put on and I'll just listen to that and do work, and it kind of gets me, like in the zone.
Yeah, nice.
But I'm not addicted to coffee like you are. I'll have one a day, if that.
Was that your first one?
That's my second one, actually. It's quite extreme for me. Gives me a headache. Yeah.
I get a headache if I don't have it.
Yeah. That's the problem, because you're addicted to it. Yeah. You need to, like, come off it. So then.
Yeah, but I have an addictive personality. I didn't know this.
That's what you said, but I don't know about what other people think. But anyway, also, sleeping is so important. I feel like
we love our sleep.
We
on
need
this
to sleep.
podcast.
We need to sleep. Yeah, I struggle with sleeping early because my brain is so, like, switched on.
Oh no,
but
I can sleep.
If I gym in the evening, it will tire me out.
Because your body's gonna be physically tired
and I'll
as
fall
well.
asleep.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so I get, like, I'll try and get 7 hours. You're probably, what, 10, 11?
That's rude.
In bed by 8?
I'm in bed by 9.
That's crazy.
Unless
9.
No, but I sometimes work till 9. So on those days I don't go to bed till 11.
Right.
And then I get up at 7.
That's late for you, 11.
I know.
You're right. How do you function?
I don't know. No, I'm all right, because, like, when I finish teaching, I'm tired, but my brain is still, like, switched on. So I always, like, I'll usually, like, sit downstairs and watch some telly or something, just to switch my mind off, like, reality stuff or, like, a comedy show or something, like a panel show, just to, like, just
come
get
out
my mind.
Of it.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then, I usually get about 8 or 9 hours. I'm a girl who likes my sleep.
It's important to have
and I can't function otherwise.
Exactly.
Also, I've got an underactive thyroid.
Right.
Which means I get tired, extremely tired, more often than other people.
Right. So you've got a thyroid issue, I've got an iron issue, so we're a great pairing. We're always tired. We're always extra tired.
Extra tired. Yeah, you need more Guinness.
I need Guinness.
You need a Guinness.
I do.
You do.
I do. But there we go, guys. Make sure you get a lot of sleep, and hopefully our top tips have helped you.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
What is in your toolkit?
Yeah, we'd love to know.
We would love to know.
Might steal some of those.
Absolutely.
Until next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Not the 9 to 5 podcast. If you liked this episode, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel, where we release weekly podcasts every Monday. Comment below to let us know who you'd like to see next on our podcast. Give this video a thumbs up and maybe share it with a freelance friend or two. Until next week, everyone, Keep freelancing.